Activate the bloody sonar, mate.
G'day, I'm Ash, and it's approaching that time of year again. Yep, that's right, it is April Fools, and well, last year's April Fools was pretty interesting in its own right. Of course, we have submarines, but it was a little joke, and well, going over some of the comments from last year's War Thunder April Fools begs to question what has Guardian, or more precisely War Thunder, got in store for us this year. Today I explain my predictions, as well as some interesting finds from around the community, especially on Reddit. The gameplay in the background will be of past April Fool's events. Now, I actually have pretty bad luck when it comes to making videos on April Fools, or even attending them for that matter. Seems to be a bit of a tradition where either I'm at another YouTuber's house like in 2017, or my internet is completely out, like so many other events. Out of the 6 or 7 events we've had, I've only been able to attend probably 3 of them at most. And this year I might miss it again due to my power having a routine maintenance on April the 1st. Annoying it is. Anyway, Guardian puts a lot of work into the April Fools events, and it's quite comical when they do something that is really unique, and it gets people talking about the memories of past events. This year is probably going to be something quite interesting as well. Last year we had the submarines, so I assume it will be some form of mass testing, or it'll be something quite interesting. But before we get into some speculation and some, Reddit finds, let's look over some of the events that they've done in the past. In 2013, maybe even 2012, there was a closed alpha, or maybe the game was in closed beta. It had some models from Guardian's other game, Star Conflict. And although this is a rumour because, well, the game was in very early stages and could have been under NDA, there is a rumour going around that they used an X-Wing type-like fighter from their game Star Conflict as the very first April Fool's event. Neither confirmed, although in 2014 they did do a post with the same fighter on their website. So again, it's not unlikely that that could have happened. Moving on, in 2013 we had flying ponies, which in itself was crazy, flying around in an ME-163 flight model with laser-like 30mm guns, as well as rockets. The event was well received with the community, and it was subject of all April Fool's discussions since, and has been the comparison bar for how much fun each event is going to be. In 2014, we had on the dev server, mind you, Attack of the Giant Snail, also known as Gargilla. One team defended while the other attacked the Giant Snail. And the event was not War Thunder's best. However, this was the second public April Fool's event that War Thunder ever had, and despite its being put on the dev server, that really put people off. In 2015, Guardian really stepped it up a notch and provided us with an excellent April Fool's. It was utterly amazing. We had a story with some lore involving crazy experimental walkers, aka tanks with legs, and, well, these tanks had a KV-2 turret, with T-50 light tank sponson turrets with 37mm cannons, an array of machine guns, and also aircraft 20mm cannons. At the same time, we also had rubber inflatable tanks, and this the community really enjoyed. We had rubber tanks that fired potatoes for high explosive, carrots for armor piercing, and it was definitely indirect fun aimed at World of Tanks in a way. You even had health bars. And let's not forget the little guys on bicycles inside the inflatable tanks. Fun indeed. 2016 really blew us out of the water. Literally, the community did not see this coming at all. They gave us British wooden sailing ships from the very early colonial days, and even provided us with a tech tree of planned ships to come. We were able to sail our Golden Hind to victory, as this was the first mass public test of naval seen in War Thunder.
Our first mighty Ash. We be sailing the seas forever, you and I.
This is the beginning of around the time when the April Fool's yearly testing period managed to become a place where Guardian would test more mechanics. But this event was really awesome. You had guns on either side of the ships, which had a limited arc and movement, which made it very difficult yet very fun to hit other ships. And when you went outside of the map, you would find yourself getting eaten and your ship sunk by none other than the Kraken, of course. A really great event that really shook things up for War Thunder at least. 2017 was the year that Guardian really pulled the plug. It's also the year in which we saw massive changes in terms of cut-off dates and limits within War Thunder. We already had tanks from the 1960s, and Gaijin surprised us with, well, modern tanks. The Leopard 2A5 and the T90 main battle tanks. On top of this, they also removed a spawn point system that allowed multiple respawns on a brand new map. But that was not all, as we also seen to the skies and to the battlefields, helicopters. Yep, the Mi-35 and the Apache AH-64 attack helicopter. Now, as of current in 2019, we have the Leopard 2A5 in-game, and we also have the Mi-35 in-game. We still have yet to see the AH-64 and the T90, but I assure you they will come at some point soon. Now, while the event was incredibly fun, plenty of people I talked to at the time loved the event, it was still pretty basic and, well, in early testing. The main battle tanks had smoke grenades and smoke shells, which is something that had never been seen in War Thunder, and the speed and powerful guns of the two main battle tanks were impressive. However, it posed questions about balance and overall map design and economy. The helicopters, on the other hand, were very basic. Although impressive, they were incredibly hard to control, and, well, this same issue was still there when helicopters were introduced mid-2018. Hell, even the flight models were the same. In 2018, we possibly saw the most disappointing April Fool's event ever, and while it was certainly cool having nuclear submarines and firing torpedoes at other subs, the replayability of the game mode was extremely limited, and, well, was only a gimmick. It was fantastic to see the submarines, but at the same time the community was really hoping to see supersonic jets, only due to the fact of how disappointing the initial testing of naval forces had been in the previous year. Although it was just a testing period for sonar and radar systems, which were very much in early testing, it was only this March that we finally got radar systems and more air-to-air missiles within War Thunder. So it really begs the question, what is April Fool's going to be this year? Is this year going to be a show of new mechanics? Or are they going to give the community a really fun and interactive event? Now, I wouldn't be mad per se, but disappointed if they did bring back or reuse some of the older April Fool's events. But it'd be interesting to see some new mechanics or something new and fresh to War Thunder. And on that note, we move right on to Reddit. A user by the name of Cancoli spotted a few interesting files in a data mine within War Thunder. A sound file with attached Morse code. The code translates to "must know the truth" and is repeated twice. It has the accompanying pictures with the CEO of Gaijin, Anton's face, in a rather peculiar arrangement. Another interesting note is the file name, ARGFSB, which could indicate that War Thunder is planning to do an alternate reality game for April Fools. An interesting concept and quite novel idea. On the same subject, many have speculated that we might be getting surface-to-air missiles or vehicles with such capability, but from browsing around on the 1.87 dev server, I found controls for shipborne surface-to-air missiles and controls that would help you set up a site for such weaponry. In fact, the most modern vessel that we currently have in War Thunder is this. Yes, this is the Type 143 Albatross, and in real life it also had torpedo tubes, but it had the ability to have MM38 Exocet anti-ship missiles situated in two dual mounts aft but forward of the rear 76mm gun. What have we got mounted in game currently? Two missile pods on either side, totaling 4 missiles in total. Quite interesting, I have to say. So we could be seeing bigger vessels, frigates, maybe even some bigger modern destroyers, or even maybe carriers for that matter. So this one's a quite interesting one, as it opens up the possibility for many different things. Other theories that have been floating around include the addition of some Mach 2 fighters, even some Cold War bombers, the Electric Lightning, the F-4 Phantom, the Vulcan, the B-52, and much, much more. Considering the recent addition to Japan in patch 1.87, we might see some other trainer-type aircraft like Japan's T2, and others of you suspect that we might see battleships or more World War II vessels in general. But again, these are all just theories. So what do I think? Well, I think the latter is more likely, surface-to-air missiles with frigates or bigger ships, but until April Fools next week, we will not know. My name's Ash, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.